It is Magic 107.5, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta. Ryan Cameron Uncensored for your Friday Eve. Mayor Andre Dickens is in the studio. The last time I saw him, we had the invisible band going up the runway at the 5K.
The invisible band. They were behind us instead of in front of
Right.
us. I was like, what is this? We're marching in front of the marching band.
But you still you led the troops, though.
Yeah,
it was a phenomenal turnout.
Oh, man.
Record turnout, right?
Mm-hmm. Phenomenal turnout. It was a record turnout for the 5K on the runway. Beautiful morning. Raised a whole bunch of money for scholarships for people, for kids that's going to college in Georgia, Atlanta kids. And so it's just a wonderful thing. And I was excited to be out there. That was my first 5K on the runway. We had the people pumped up. And, some walked, some jogged, some ran, but all finished.
Well, some of them got picked up and brought to the finish line, too, though.
Some of them. Some of them.
Some of them. So how are you feeling? Because I just, I started to show up. I said, when people call up here, they always go, is Ryan there? And they go, I have a bone to pick with you. I always know it's going to be an issue.
Right.
So Forbes magazine just said that we were the best city in the world to live, best city in the state or country.
Yeah, they did.
And
best city in the nation, but
Yeah.
that means the universe to me. The best city in the universe.
Right. And then I saw you talking about getting the Democratic National Convention here in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand, as an Atlanta native, as a Mays High School graduate, as a 61st mayor of Atlanta, as a dear friend of the city, as a patron saint of the city, why you are encouraging people to come here.
Why? You think we full?
You know we full.
We are not full.
Where are they going to go?
They're going to go where everybody go every time we play the Falcons.
Is this part of your housing strategy?
Yes. Because now the word is out on Atlanta. This is how it was back in the day when Atlanta was at its heyday and people came for Freaknik.
Right.
And they never left. People came for college. They never left. So now it's happening all over again. People come here for one thing, and next thing you know, they're staying. And now the nation is saying Atlanta's the best place to live. That's crazy. And then Bloomberg magazine said Atlanta has more going on for it than any other city in the nation. More going on. Like, we got stuff just happening. More companies coming here, more events, more business. I mean, whether it's the airport, the Beltline, the schools that we have. Yeah, so we're just going to have to make room for folks and catch MARTA.
Okay. All right. Do you think, as these people are coming, have you thought about the peach drop for this year already? Are you doing it or not?
Yeah, we're going to do the peach drop. I'm trying to find some acts, man, so I need y'all to...
we can do that.
Let's do a little thing. Let's tell everybody on the station to send, to make their recommendations.
For the peach drop.
For the peach drop.
Who would you want to see? Other than Beyonce.
Yes.
Because that's what they're going to start off with.
They're going to start out with Beyonce and then Drake.
Right. And Drake was here for a spell house.
He showed up out of nowhere. Nobody knew he was coming. 21 Savage knew he was coming.
Yeah.
Woo, spell house. They done lost their mind. I bet you nobody went to class until about 1 o'clock.
Mayor Andre Dickens in the studio for his, monthly visit. Let's talk street racing. Mm-hmm. How can we affect some of these outcomes where it's not only the people who are participating, it's also the people who are showing up to watch. It's also the people who are filming. I mean, what are your thoughts on how to make this, go away?
Yeah, street racing became, a national thing during the pandemic when the roads were empty. These folks with these fast cars and souped up motors and tires and stuff, they took it to the streets. And they were traveling across the state lines all over the cities, and they didn't get it out of their system, it seemed. So at the beginning of this year, we had a lot of it. We cracked down on it a great deal over the last 6 months. And then this weekend, these folks came in droves from Gwinnett County. They went through Gwinnett. They went through DeKalb. Then they came into the city near Lenox Mall, came through Midtown. APD arrested 12 of them, though.
Right.
Impounded their cars and even, locked up some folks, impounded their cars. Half of them were the drivers and some of them were the spectators filming because we don't want that either. I mean, you've seen viral videos of people getting fishtailed, getting hit by the back of a car, or somebody spin out and run into somebody's property. We had somebody at Sauce Club here in Atlanta recently. Somebody trying to show out in front of some girls or whatever, and spun out and ran into the restaurant. I mean, you can kill people. You can damage property. You can hurt your passengers. You can hurt the people that's onlooking. So we're giving out tickets. We're impounding cars. We even, I ain't really happy about this, but this is just the law. If your kid is out at 2 a.m. doing donuts and he or she is 16, 17 years old, they just broke curfew. So when you come pick them up from jail, you're getting arrested too.
Wow.
And so we had to arrest some parents because you allowed your kid to break the curfew laws and commit a crime. So now the whole family got to pay.
So what is the message that you're trying to send? I mean, because it's, some people are going to be listening on the radio going, man, that's harsh. But what are you saying? Like, just control your kids.
Yeah, control your kids. And, the ones that were arrested in Atlanta, only one of them had an Atlanta license plate or Atlanta driver's license. These folks are coming from North Georgia, Tennessee, DeKalb, Gwinnett. So what we're saying is, look, if you want to have entertainment, y'all should buy a place, make it a park, do whatever it is that you want to do in the confines of that. Make sure that you got noise protections. But driving down city streets, doing donuts, causing all kinds of damage. I just don't even understand the economy of it. I mean, they're tearing up brakes, clutches, tires, and then they're running into each other. We damaged 2 police cars in this process because they did not want to stop. Because they thought that Atlanta police were going to be weak and let them get away, and we put out those stop sticks, which stops your tires. But yeah, man, it's a nuisance. It's very noisy, and we're down 1 hospital, so you get hurt. We down 1 level 1 trauma center, and I got a lot to say about that, and a lot that we're working on to get us a new hospital operator to fill the void. But you don't want to get hurt right now. You don't want to take risks right now.
Yeah, when you kind of address that, I mean, I've heard you along with other people say that closing caught everybody kind of off guard.
Yeah.
We had a trauma doctor on a couple of years ago, and he was saying that he could see that this was coming. So, he was saying, you remember I said this on your show? He sent me a text. I was like, you did talk about trauma centers closing. So was there a meeting behind closed doors? Was it like, you're saying we lost all this money. So, the fact that the next major trauma center, people got it Macon.
Yeah, and Augusta and stuff like that. So, Atlanta had 2 level 1 trauma centers, Grady and AMC. Wellstar bought AMC about 6 years ago in a package of 5 hospitals. Well, we're learning that Wellstar never really wanted the 2 in the city. With the one here at Georgia Baptist, as we know it, right there on Boulevard. And the other one is on Cleveland Avenue, which is actually just over the city lines on East Point on the other side of the street, but it feels like Atlanta. But those 2 are urban hospitals. So Wellstar is saying, I don't want to be in the urban hospital business. So we bought this package of 5 hospitals, but we really only wanted the 3 north side ones. And because those hospitals, have a different payer mix. The AMC North, the one right here in the Georgia Baptist, the one right there on Boulevard, the payer mix is a good bit of the people can't pay.
Right.
So they go there, and you're supposed to get grants. You're supposed to apply for philanthropy money and county money to help with that. So they're saying they lost a lot of money dealing with that population. Well, what we have to do is talk about these things and try to figure out how to spread it out. What they did was they called me at 11 o'clock saying, Mayor, you got some time to talk? I said, yeah, I'll call you back at 11:30. Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, in about an hour or so, we're going to tell all our employees we're closing in 60 days.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? So you're giving me like a 2-hour notice that you're going to close, that you're going to announce to your employees? And I said, well, did you tell the governor? I said, we told him last night. I said, so you told the governor and the mayor that you're about to do something that, you didn't even give us a chance to respond.
Right.
We could have come up with something, some stopgap.
But they never wanted it.
They don't want it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Wellstar is a nonprofit that is behaving like a for-profit because all they're doing is looking at their bottom line. And so what that does is it leaves us with having to help citizens figure out where they can get their health needs met. But I'm gonna you never let any good tragedy go to waste. So what we're gonna do is turn these lemons into lemonade by helping us reimagine the whole healthcare of the region. too many people were using the emergency room for their primary care. So that is true. Too many people were going there when they were too sick.
Right.
So we have to help people be healthy along the way. So fewer people go to the emergency room. When you don't have insurance, you don't have a primary care physician, somebody that you go to get your annual checkups,
Right.
get your physicals, or
Right.
something that says, hey, your blood pressure, hey, your cholesterol. We need people to go to those places. We need people to get early detection of some of these cancers and heart diseases and strokes. If people can learn more about their bodies, meaning we can have more healthcare centers in their neighborhoods on the south side and in other low-income areas, if we can start doing that, we can prevent the most expensive stuff. Like the emergency room is
Right.
expensive. The hospital, the
Even
ICU,
getting in the ambulance, that's $2,000.
$2,000 to get in the ambulance. So if we can cut out the expensive stuff by giving people healthy food options, also making sure that they have doctor's visits and clinics in their areas, and then urgent cares, so that if you break your wrist at playing baseball, you don't have to go to a hospital emergency room for that. You can go to an urgent care. If you cut your hand, slicing lemons at home.
You try to dunk at midnight basketball.
If you're trying to dunk at midnight basketball,
Like you
somebody's
did.
mayor.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You was on the roll. I was
on
trying
the
to
roll.
help you, bro. I was just trying to help
If
you.
you're trying to dunk at midnight basketball,
Why were you
like
trying
your
to
man.
dunk at midnight? Like, when was the last time you dunked?
Bro, I had to be like, I wasn't even a Kappa.
Oh my God! What? So you got
like
out there.
20.
You was like, you know what? You like, Dr. J is still dunking, but it's Dr. J.
Man,
Dominique is still dunking, but it's Neek.
And
So
the
what
deal-
were you thinking?
I wish I could tell you that somebody pumped me up, they gassed me up.
Right.
Like nobody thought I was going to be able to do it either. So
Golly, man. Oh, man. When I saw you with that boot on, I was like...
it's my first time as mayor, man. I just going crazy. I do it all.
When we did the Black Radio United, one of the questions that came up when there was Stacey Abrams and as well as Governor Kemp there was about rent control.
Yeah.
And the governor said he was against it because he thought it would discourage those companies who are coming in and building these houses from coming to the city. For the people who are living here right now, my daughter is one of them, where she was paying $1,500 and now she's paying $1,800, and they was like, no, well, that's what it is, and you can't move because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It's an issue that doesn't seem to be going away. I heard what the governor said, but what are you saying about people and the possibility of doing anything for this rent control? Because it's gouging at this point.
Yeah. To me, I think we need rent control in the city of Atlanta. It would be my goal to install that. But the deal is the state of Georgia has a prohibition on rent control. They don't allow any city to set a rent control. It's actually in Georgia code. I think it was like 1984 or 1985, somewhere around in there, that they said as a state law, we prohibit any city from installing or establishing a rent control policy. We don't want to be like New York or California and some other places, Maryland, that has rent control. Even Chicago has some rent control. But I believe we need it.
Right.
I have individuals that told me that they were paying, $1,200, and they were tight on that, but they were fine. And then, the landlord just come up next year rent gonna be $1,500. You're like, wait a minute. Where am I supposed to get this extra $300? Okay, I'll do scrape and scrap. I'm gonna find that money. Now, now we're going $1,750.
Yeah.
Whoa, how are you going up 20% a year?
And
That's
people having to make
gouging.
choices between feeding their children,
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah.
And I know people personally who have said that they could not go to work
Yeah.
because they had to make a choice. Do I buy food? Do I buy gas? Because I'm trying to make up this rent.
Right. And the problem is incomes haven't kept up with the rent increase.
Right.
So we are having a lot of people move here from New York, Chicago, California, where they have higher salaries. So they see $1,500 rent.
Like nothing.
Or they're like, oh, this is great. Or $1,800 rent. They're like, this is great, because they're used to paying $2,500 just to start. $3,000 is a 2-bedroom. And they come to Atlanta and they're like, shoot. All right, so the market is allowing these landlords to feel like, well, we always got a customer because somebody's always moving to Atlanta.
Right.
And then when the pandemic hit, you didn't have to work in the city that your job was. So your headquarters could be in Chicago, but you're living in Atlanta, right? Because you're all working from Zoom or working from Microsoft Teams. you are virtual. And when you're virtual, you live where you want to live. You can live on on an island somewhere if you can get to wherever you need to go to. But people were choosing to come to Atlanta because we got all these great amenities. It's fun. It's restaurants. The Beltline and all this stuff, and it's lower cost than it is in California, New York, D.C., and Chicago. So people move to Atlanta, taking up all the normal rents of $1,200 and $1,500.
Right.
So now, you got people paying $2,100 for a one bedroom. In Midtown, Buckhead, and downtown, and even anywhere along the Beltline. So I would love to have some rent control, especially for our firefighters, police officers, teachers, nurses, these very vital contributors, radio hosts.
Yes, radio host children, yes. Producer's name Sam. Oh, go ahead.
Right. All these folks that are vital to our community, because what you don't want is to turn into San Francisco. San Francisco got a big problem. Everybody that works in San Francisco by day to support the economy, all the people that work in the hotels and all of them that work at the restaurants, they can't live there at night.
Right, they have to go somewhere else.
Every day they take an hour ride in because they're driving or catching a bus until they can qualify to pay their rent. And then they drive out at night. That is not how we want to be. We want to be a city that has an ecosystem that's everybody has an opportunity. And so right now, I'm building out a lot of affordable housing. We got about 1,600 units built already this year. My goal is 20,000 over the next 8 years, and we're moving aggressively towards it.
Okay. One last thing.
Yeah, man.
How is your wobble? How is your wobble?
I know where you're going with this.
Because you know what's happening Saturday.
Saturday night, we're going to wobble. Hey, man, what's the over-under number for how many times we're going to do the wobble at this?
At the seniors ball, at your seniors ball, the wobble gets it started, but Green Onion. See, you got to remember who you're dealing with, Dre. Wobble is for the young, the young, the 60 and under.
Yeah.
That's the young crew. The Green Onion, that is for what's going to be in there from all of the assisted living and all of the places.
Yeah.
I mean, and so when you walk in there,
whew,
I just hope you're ready, man, because you got the Silver Fox Squad.
Oh, they're going to be showing out.
Coming in.
Yeah.
And, all the older women who always complain every year, where all the men at?
Yeah.
Which I've already heard a million times that they was, showing off their outfits. But the old black men are the biggest haters right now. Because when I said the Silver Fox Squad was going to be in there at the barbershop the other day, well, what they going to do? I said, well, these guys are very popular. Women love them. They got the silver beards and they dress nice. But what they going to do, though, Round? I said, they going to come for it. They was like, do they dance? I said, do they sing? What we going to do, just look at them? I said, yeah, that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be something, man.
Woo! Hey, these ladies they getting their dresses, they get their hair done.
It's going to be crazy.
And look, I'm already in trouble because we still operating because they seniors. We do the COVID thing. We can't go all the way to 5,000 seniors like we used to do because
what's the cutoff?
Yes, so I had to change the age limit.
What?
So it's 65 and up. Ooh, them 62-year-old seniors and 60-year-old seniors, they hot, they heated. So if you're listening on this radio station, I love y'all. I'm going to try to find a way to have me a 60 to 65.
You're too young to go to the seniors ball.
Right. So I had to stick with because there's so many seniors.
Right.
And people are healthy. I mean, these 65-year-olds, they can.
Oh yeah, they doing their thing.
Well, that's why 3-hour ball, they can stand on their feet and dance the whole 3 hours.
In previous administrations, you gotta know this, man.
Yeah.
In previous administrations, that's when they started putting the armbands on them because they would come from the shady rest, but they would meet somebody and get on another bus and end up at the other nursing home and they be doing head count. They be like, "Who is this guy?" I met a little something. I got on the bus with her. So that's why they got the armbands now. So yeah, they quite active.
Oh, man, you got camp rules. Like everybody got to check in. Now I saw Andre and Susie. They can't be together for long.
That's funny. Hey man, we cannot wait. I'm glad to be a part of it again this year, man. I was pleased to have so much fun at the 5K runway thing, man. That was phenomenal. I mean, I know your schedule is crazy because I know that's why we didn't see you yesterday up at the White House. Yeah. But man, one thing about it, you all over the place, man.
And man, I always make sure that you get included. I always make sure that you my guy. That's why you're at the 5K. That's why you're at these seniors. I said, I talked to some seniors. I was like, who gonna be the DJ? Who gonna be the host? And I was like, you know who? Ryan C.
That's right.
They happy about that, man. So it's gonna be a great time. The senior ball, and look, we're doing amazing things. One thing I want to announce right now is I just bought a building. The city of Atlanta, we just bought a building. That building that's right over the MARTA station, the 5 Points MARTA station, is called 2 Peachtree. The 2 Peachtree building, like literally right down the street from here. The state has been owning it for years. They're trying to get rid of it. I've negotiated with the governor, and we got us a good deal, about half price. We're going to turn that commercial property of office buildings that's only about half utilized. We're going to build some housing in there.
Yes.
So it's going to be mixed income housing. Probably a third of it will be student housing, a third of it will be workforce low income housing, and a third of it will be market rate for all y'all.
What's the turnaround time?
Well, I just bought it about 2 hours ago. just bought it about 2 hours ago.
So 2 Peachtree.
2 Peachtree.
Okay.
It's right next to 5 Points. It's the building that, when you come out of 5 Points, you start headed down, north on Peachtree. Once you get past like the little small shops, that tall building right there, it'll be the tallest residential building in the city.
Okay.
We're gonna renovate it on the inside. You know how Ponce City Market was, the old Sears, and it was an office building. Now we made housing units out of it. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn.
So you're thinking like a live work type deal, or
it'll
just
be
housing?
Live up top, and then down on the bottom will be retail, like a coffee shop, dry cleaners, a couple of restaurants.
Okay.
And then there'll be some office mixed in, maybe on floors like 3 through 6 or 7. And we're asking MARTA. MARTA's going to be a partner in this, because that's where 5 Points is. MARTA could put a whole bunch of offices there.
There you go.
So we got some tenants in mind. This is revolutionary, where the city of Atlanta is basically going to, not only how we have land and we got to start inviting developers to be on the land, right here downtown. We want to bring life and vitality back to downtown, because at about 7 o'clock downtown, ain't nobody here, right?
So that's along with the underground revitalization as well.
We revitalizing underground. We got the Gulch, which is called Centennial Yards. Our downtown, between now and when we get to FIFA World Cup in 2026, you're going to see a downtown that's thriving.
Okay.
That's the goal, is to make sure that we got people downtown, because, the way we work has changed since the pandemic. People work from home. A lot of these buildings right now are,
it's just electricity burning.
Ain't
nobody in them.
Ain't nobody in them in the daytime. People still working from home. It's a hybrid, right? Some people come on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or some people are, not coming back at all. So we need to start turning some of these things into residential properties where you'll have some tenants.
Well, that's a big announcement, and we're glad
You're the
you
first
just
to
made
know
it.
it, everybody on here.
That's why I saw you looking. He was like, yes.
Yes.
Mayor Andre Dickens right here. It is Magic 107.5, 97.5, man. We'll see you next month, bro. We appreciate you.